Good afternoon. Thank you all for coming on kind of a humid, not so nice day. I really appreciate the wonderful crowd that we have out here. My name is Veronica Estrada, and it brings me great pleasure to introduce our interim dean for the College of Education, who will now be coming up to give us our welcome, our official welcome, Dr. Lambda Psi.
Good afternoon, everyone. Buenas tardes a todos. I just wanted to say a few words. As Dr. Strada said, I am here to do the official welcome. I realize that before I do that, there are many of you students who do not know who I am, so let me just give you a little bit about myself so you know who's here to represent you as your interim dean, also as you come to graduation. I'm an associate professor in the special education program. I have been an associate dean of the College of Education. I've also been an associate vice provost in the Office of Undergraduate Studies, and just last summer became the interim dean for UT Pan American. I am also serving as the interim dean for UT Rio Grande Valley. So if you don't see me around a lot, I'm out busy helping to get us through this transition. But today is about you, so I just wanted you to know a little bit about me. I'm also a UT Pan American graduate, 1992, so I'm very, very proud of that as well. So, yes. That's probably my most important accomplishment. I don't think I could be here today if it wasn't for this institution, so I'm very, very grateful, and I'm sure you all are as well. We're here today really just to celebrate you, to celebrate your academic excellence, and as your interim dean, I can't tell you how proud I am that you are here today, that you've shown that academic excellence. I'm sure that you would probably say, just like I did when I was graduating, that the people in the audience are part of that accomplishment. Most of us can't get where we are without those family and friends who are behind us all along the way, and so I'm sure that I'm accurate when I say that your family and friends are very proud of your accomplishment today and are here to celebrate with you. So good luck to all of you, and I hope to see you. If you are undergrad students, we do have undergrad students in the audience, right? If you're undergrad students, make sure to come back and work on your master's degree with us. And if you are working on your master's degree, please consider us for your doctorate as well. So welcome, and let's have a great ceremony today. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Psi. Our special guest today, this afternoon, is Dr. Cynthia Brown. She is our provost and our VPAA ad interim at the University of Texas Pan American. Please, let's welcome Dr. Cynthia Brown.
What a great day for education in the Rio Grande Valley. I am so pleased to be here on behalf of the administration of University of Texas Pan American. This is a day that everyone should be celebrating, the students and their family alike, as well as our faculty. You are the ones who will be changing the landscape of education in our region, and for this I thank you. I thank you for your academic accomplishments. I thank you for the effort you're going to put into teaching our children in the coming years. But I would also like to echo what Dr. Psi said, and that is to please continue your education. Those of you who are undergraduates, do get your master's. Those of you who are working on your master's, as well as the undergraduates, think about a doctoral degree. There are many of us up here today that are going to be taking part of this ceremony that are not going to be here forever, and we do need to be working on our replacements. So please consider continuing your degree. We are so very proud of your academic accomplishments, and you are the ones that should be the leaders of education in the future. Again, thank you so much, and congratulations.
At this time, I'd like to introduce our keynote speaker. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Veronica Strada, has been the main advisor for Kappa Delta Pi for 17 years. So talk about a real trooper and someone that has a lot of passion to make sure that our students are successful. That's Dr. Strada. Dr. Strada has been a department chair in the Department of Curriculum and Instruction. She has also been an associate dean for the College of Education, And most recently, she got appointed as the interim department chair for the Department of Teaching and Learning for the University of Texas Rio Grande Valley. So we're very, very proud of all of her accomplishments. She has just been very passionate. She's a researcher. She has published. She presents. She goes all over the country presenting in her area of literacy. So at this time, help me welcome Dr. Veronica Estrada.
Today is our Founders Day for Kappa Delta Pi International Honor Society. Our Founders Day. We are 104 years old today. So happy birthday, Kappa Delta Pi. 46 years ago, Pan American University installed their first members of Lambda Psi Chapter. Lambda Psi Chapter on the very Founders Day of the international organization. So Lambda Psi Chapter at Pan American University, and now UTPA, and soon UTRGV, is 46 years old today. So happy birthday, Lambda Psi Chapter. The title of my keynote is called Discerning Hearts and Minds. As many of you know, at the College of Education at UTPA, we require our undergraduate majors in education to go through an interview process where we typically ask these two questions. Why do you want to be a teacher? And what do you think are the most important responsibilities of teachers? What do all of you initiates have in common? Or most of the initiates in the room? Most of the initiates in this room are preparing to become teachers and will be new teachers in a few short weeks or months. They are young, smart, industrious, energetic, internally motivated, and most importantly, they are ready to make a real living. Am I wrong? They want to make a decent salary and begin the next chapter of their lives, young adulthood. They are eager to not depend on their parents for financial support and make their way in the world. These new and often very young teachers have never really had a professional job before now. It's a daunting time. Some of you do not feel ready. On the outside, you exude confidence and light. After all, you are smart. You are prepared. You are very good looking. And you understand young people, because you too are a young person. So you feel confident in your capacity to relate to kids in public schools. However, on the inside, what are you feeling? Nervous, anxious, worried, and dare I say it, maybe even a little afraid? I can remember feeling somewhat like a fraud when I graduated with my bachelor's degree. I remember thinking, wow, this university is crazy to think that I'm ready to go out there and be an adult with all the responsibilities that come with it. I'm not ready. What are they, crazy? But you know what? I was ready. I was ready. And as ready as I was ever going to be. And you know what else? You are ready. You will do great things in this profession. Absolutely you will. You will do what you set out to do when you started our teacher preparation programs. You will make a difference. You will touch and impact the lives of children and adolescents in positive ways that will remain in your hearts forever. You will. You will also teach the curriculum well, manage your classes well, create safe and nurturing classroom environments, and you will also do your best to prepare young teachers or young people for the real world, while also being there for your students to the best of your capacity. How do I know this? What makes me so sure? There's two reasons. I am older and wiser than you, so I have earned the right to make these statements with confidence and conviction. And two, I know these things because you all made the choice a few years ago to be a teacher. And you have developed a real understanding of what that means and how challenging and exhilarating it is to be privileged to do what you are prepared to do. I will tell you a little known secret. Those who can, teach. Those who can't should not teach. We have principals in the room who are also initiates who know what I'm talking about. Effective teaching is not for the thin-skinned and unskilled. You cannot wing it as a teacher every day in this educational environment. You cannot fly under the radar either, not with our emphasis on mastering standards and having accountability for your teaching. You will not last long as a teacher in this profession if you have a deficit view of children and/or the teaching profession. But I'm sure by now I am preaching to the choir. As all of you realize, you need to have specialized professional knowledge and skills to be a teacher. And my message today is also to encourage you to use all of your human capacity in your teaching. Bring your spectacular humanness into your teaching, because you will be teaching human beings who will bring with them their humanness and all that that means, their diversity, complexity, and the general beauty and messiness that reflects life in schools today. Good educators are discerning individuals who value and nurture relationships. What do we mean by discernment? This is just the definition that I got on Microsoft Office Word. To discern means to see or notice something unclear, to understand something, to distinguish, perceive, recognize, notice, determine, and detect. Discerning teachers are teachers who use their heads. This means teachers who can think before they react, reflect, think on their feet, make decisions that they weren't really prepared to do. Because the classroom is such a dynamic place and you don't know what's going to happen as you're teaching. You don't know how the students are going to react, and you can't really, it's very unpredictable. Teachers who use their heads use their metacognitive skills. This is what we learn in, I think, 4302 especially, right? And that is that they have to be thinking about their thinking while they're thinking. That is high-ordered thinking. So discerning teachers are thinking, reflecting, reacting, but only after some thought, taking a breath, thinking quickly on their feet if there's something unexpected in the classroom that occurs. So those are discerning teachers. Discerning teachers also use their ears. They listen. They do not just hear, but they listen. They give people, their students, eye contact. They nod their heads. They indicate that they're truly listening to students, and these students need to be heard. Discerning teachers use their heads and their ears, but they also use their eyes. They observe carefully. Getting to know your students' strengths and weaknesses requires observation. They use their eyes to relate, to see how students relate to their peers and to administrators and teachers that they encounter every day. So teachers who are discerning use their heads, ears, eyes, and mouths when they speak. So be careful, teachers, with your words. I just want to remind you that words have power. They can be a source of inspiration, but also they can have the power to break a spirit. So discerning teachers have to think about and listen and watch and speak in ways that are discerning, trying to figure things out and see the whole child. Finally, teachers who use their hearts are discerning teachers. This means that discerning teachers are empathetic, compassionate. They love children. They love to be around the youths. They are playful. Discerning teachers are joyful teachers who truly love their jobs. So teachers who are discerning use their whole being, their eyes, their ears, their mouths, their hearts, their heads, everything, without reserve, every day. So discernment in its entirety. How do we get there? How do we become a discerning teacher? We need time to contemplate. I encourage this not only for teachers, but everybody. Some time for some silent contemplation. Make time for that. This is a noisy, noisy world. We're bombarded by all kinds of technology messages every day. So are our students in our public schools. So we're very connected, but yet at the same time disconnected. So it's important to disconnect, actually, from this noisiness and make time to contemplate what is happening in the classroom, what is happening in your lives, what is happening to you as an individual as you grow and learn. We always say how teachers are lifelong learners. Well, you got to think about what you've learned. You've got to think about it and make time for that every day. So we seem to have lost touch of our humanness in this 21st century sometimes, at least it feels that way. So we need to unplug. We need to disconnect from all our technology for a while. We must unplug every day for a good chunk of time. For some of you, you're thinking, oh, impossible, impossible. Try 15 minutes. Work up to 30 minutes, maybe even an hour a day. So detachment is necessary in our capacity to listen, to see, to think, to be a discerning teacher, to make a difference in the lives of others. So this is why many of you have decided to pursue education as a profession, to make a difference in the lives of others. That's the most popular thing that our students say in our interviews. To make a difference, to make a difference. They keep saying that. So we can only really do that if we actually are discerning. So do what you need to do to make time for contemplation about your life as a teacher and the multiple other roles that you have in your respective lives. Mothers, fathers, friends, colleagues, sisters, brothers, etc. Whether it's through prayer, meditation, exercise, taking long walks, listening to soothing music, looking at beautiful art, having quiet time is important. Try to empty your mind so that it is clear and you are awake in your teaching. It's important to make space, to make room for that. In this way, we open ourselves to understanding. We cannot really understand our students if we're not truly aware of them. This practice of becoming aware and understanding opens us up to be able to take action. Whether the action is small, as planning a reteach on a lesson that the students didn't quite master, whether it's changing a seating arrangement in the classroom, whether it's recommending a student for higher ability coursework, or for tutoring on a given subject. In closing, I want to say that I'm reminded of that scene in The Wizard of Oz when Toto opens the curtain to reveal that there is no Wizard of Oz, and that will give Dorothy and her friends what they desire. They have followed the yellow brick road and encounter many obstacles along the way. As new teachers, you will find that the road to becoming an educator is not always an easy road. Sometimes there are obstacles, maybe not a wicked witch or flying monkeys, but other obstacles. Just remember that you are gifted with many talents and new knowledge that you have worked very hard to obtain. Like the scarecrow, you will discover that you do have a brain. You are smart and informed and prepared and soon degreed. Like the Tin Man, you too have a heart. Use it. Be a caring teacher to your students. Like the cowardly lion, you actually may realize that you have the capacity to be courageous. Dare to care about those around you, your students, colleagues, administrators, and staff. And like Dorothy, it is important to realize that there's no place like home. And for some kids, the closest thing to having a safe, warm, loving home is school. The expression "home is where the heart is" takes on a more profound meaning for many kids who do not have a loving family. Be that family for those kids. Be the home where the discerning heart is. Thank you. Okay, now on to the induction ceremony. I'd like to invite our officers up to the stage.
Members of the Lambda Psi chapter of Kappa Delta Pi, International Honor Society in Education, are now assembled to reaffirm faith in the ideals of our society and to initiate into membership candidates who seek the bond of our common purpose, to promote excellence in and in recognizing outstanding contributes to education.
Celine Valadez and members of Kappa Delta Pi, I present these candidates who wish to make the ideals of our society their own. Please stand. I present for initiation all of these candidates.
The Associate Counselor will now relate the Society's and this chapter's origins.
Kappa Delta Pi was founded on March the 8th, 1911, at the University of Illinois. The society was incorporated on June the 8th, 1911. At UTPA, the Lambda Psi chapter was installed by Dr. Stamp on March the 8th, 1969.
What does membership in Kappa Delta Pi imply?
It implies fostering the high ideals of the education profession by assuming trusteeship of a rich professional legacy. It is our privilege and duty as educators to transform this legacy.
Candidates, do you accept responsibility of transitioning this legacy? If so, you will answer, I do. What are the principles upon which the society is founded?
Education is a vital societal force that encourages universal welfare and individual progress. Education is the cornerstone of democracy and the foundation of personal fulfillment. Honor societies conduct rituals and ceremonies to impress upon the members the ideals and the duties to which they adhere. Members of Kappa Delta Pi have cherished this society's ideals and accepted the concepts of duty established when the organization was founded. New members of Kappa Delta Pi should be aware of the duties which education imposes and uphold the ideals of this society.
We present for your acceptance the ideals which guide members of the society.
The first ideal is that of fidelity to humanity. This ideal implies faith in the potential of human beings and in the improvement of the human condition through education, compassion in the contacts one has as an educator with humanity, and dedication to the concept that through continuous education based upon equal opportunity, persons of all ages, races, and creeds will find increased opportunity for experiencing more meaningful lives. All of this is implied in the ideal of fidelity to humanity.
Do you accept the ideal of fidelity to humanity? If so, you will answer, I do.
The second is the ideal of science. This ideal implies that, as an educator, one will be faithful to the cause of free inquiry and strive to eliminate prejudice and superstition by withholding judgment until accurate and adequate evidence is obtained. One will not distort evidence to support a favorite theory, not be blinded by the new or spectacular, nor condemn the old simply because it is old. All of this is implied in the ideal of science.
Do you accept this ideal of science? If so, you will answer, I do.
The third ideal is that of service. This ideal is the very essence of education which seeks advancement, not merely for self, but for society as well. The incentive of the great educators of the world has been their desire to serve humanity. Service and education implies living so that others are strengthened and inspired, and striving for the achievement of justice, peace, and a better way of life for all. All of this is implied in the ideal of service.
Do you accept this ideal of service? If so, you will answer, I do.
The final ideal is that of toil, the will to do the task that must be done, whether the task pleases one or not, and faith in the social necessity and intrinsic reward of the education profession. It implies working with such faith and zeal that others are won to the cause of education. If one life has been given greater freedom and nobler vision, toil has not been in vain. All of this is implied in the ideal of toil.
Do you accept this ideal of toil? If so, you will answer, I do.
Our society's emblem incorporates the scroll, the stylus, the beehive, and the characters Kappa, Delta, Pi. Many of the treasures of antiquity, which formed the foundation of modern education, rest on the scrolls of the papyrus. The golden scroll, therefore, is the foundation of our emblem. The shaft running through the scroll is the stylus, the first instrument known to be used in making letters and figures. The beehive symbolizes toil. The characters Kappa, Delta, Pi represent our motto: knowledge, duty, power. Words expressing the entire meaning of our educational ideals.
The purpose of ideals of Kappa Delta Pi are now known to you. Are you ready to assume the obligation of membership in Kappa Delta Pi? If so, you will answer, I am. Please repeat after me the obligation of the society. I promise to abide by the Constitution and bylaws of Kappa Delta Pi and to cooperate to expand the influence of its purpose and ideals. I now declare you members of Kappa Delta Pi International Honor Society in Education, pledged to be faithful to its ideals and worthy to enter into the bonds of fellowship with its members.
I will now call on you individually for the presentation of certificates and pins. Brittany Adams. Now you may really applaud. Yeah. Anne Bondock. Selena Campos. Bianca Cantu. Nancy Castillo. Amber Cavazos. Everardo Chapa. Zaira Chapa. Celeste Cisneros. Sherry Kazi Cortez. Jessica Diaz. Martín Flores. Shelby Flores. Brianna Fonseca. Isela Fuentes. Anthea Garcia. Megan Garcia. Clarissa Gonzalez. Leila Gonzalez. Stephanie Gonzalez. Jacqueline Gray. Genesis Heredia. We can clap for everybody. Erica Herrera. That's better. Marco Lumbreras. Yadira Mejia. Marisol Molina. Eric Montelongo. Cindy Morales. Marie Muniz. Hector Nunez. Elizabeth Palacios. Manuel Peña. Brenda Ramirez. René Ramos. Deborah Reina. Miguel Rivera. Esperanza Rodríguez. Sonia Rodríguez. Jaime Serna. Alejandra Tiburcio. Sarah Torres. Andrés Urencio. Ana Villegas. Oh. Claudia Vela. Sorry, Claudia. And last but not least, Diana Ibanez. We greet you as colleagues in the quest for a full, knowledgeable, and useful life. We are united in a profession whose purpose and challenge is to inspire young and old to grow by using their heritage, to develop a concern for the needs of others, and to strengthen moral character and personality so that collectively, as members of Kappa Delta Pi, we may be worthy examples of a rich, wholesome life. To these purposes and challenges in firm faith, we devote our lives. So now on your program, we're going to recite the Creed. All together. So to teach that our words inspire a will to learn, so to serve that each day may enhance the growth of exploring minds, so to live that we may guide young and old to know the truth and love the right. To the fulfillment of these objectives, we pledge our efforts and our faith. It is my privilege and honor to congratulate you and to welcome you into Kappa Delta Pi.